There have been some issues with one of the latest EVO releases, so the engineers scrambled to fix things in a week-long day and night session. They tinkered, they adjusted, they rewrote, and yes, they hammered, to roll out what became not just a hotfix, but an entire full-fledged update. Update 0.5. This time we will start with a world record attempt. Then we will analyze the installation performance in detail, and after that, get into the thick of the service park settings and all of its functions. It's not going to be a fun one, it's a tutorial. But let's just listen in what this new update is all about.
We're already piggybacking on RallySimFans. Now we are directly piggybacking on Reshade as well.
This is one mother piggybacking cluster piggyback fest.
But according to our licensing department, this is all good.
It's a loving piggybacking piggy cluster pig fest.
Oh.
Are you guys done?
Anyhow, this is all super streamlined now. You might even be able to install EVO, including all Reshade now blindly. You know what? I'm going to try to break your installation record. People absolutely correctly pointed out some flaws in your world record attempt you performed last time.
What?
I might not be able to beat your time, but I will instead add a full Reshade installation on top of that.
No way.
Yes way.
You piggybacking mother of a piggyback fest.
So here is a super clean Richard Burns Rally installation that never had any EVO or Reshade components installed before. What's the current record?
I don't remember exactly, but it was well under 20 seconds.
Okay, so same setup as last time. I even hold my breath during the installation. If I die, I die. And go. Merge. Double click, run, select all, install, okay, 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 next, okay, 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 done.
Jesus.
What's the time?
Wow, that was an amazing run! But it went by so fast. Let's have another look. So you can see, right from the start, she was making sure to extract the files inside the RBR root directory. So the RBR maps folder and the maps folder of EVO will merge.
Yes, that was absolutely critical, because this means EVO can set up everything automatically. But here is the first bottleneck. After extraction, the mod is not yet installed. For now, by extracting, she just put all the files where they belong.
But look! Now here she clicks the crucial bat file!
Yes, this one will automatically generate a shortcut for future operations to launch the service park to avoid any Windows Defender false flags.
But see, it also opens the service park launcher automatically after it is done!
Now she has to go to the one-click installer. She shortcuts the process by clicking Select All. She selects all. Can you believe that? She selects all components with one click.
And now she hits Install!
So what's the intermediate time?
It's an astonishing 15 seconds 27! This would have been a new overall world record for fastest EVO installation!
But she didn't stop there. She went on to include the entire Reshade setup as well.
Exactly, this is another critical part, the Reshade installation. A lot of people fail at exactly this point of the process. It is rather finicky to say the least.
But what happens here? The Reshade installation starts on its own.
Yes, it does. Amazing. And there is even a tooltip window next to it to guide her through the installation. I can't even.
Look at this. Look at this. The EVO Service Park launcher even puts the correct link to the rbr.exe automatically.
And she trailblazers through the installation. DirectX 9, installing the automatically selected shaders, skipping the installation of any add-ons. And it's already done! Over the finish line! Completely done! A full EVO installation, including a full Reshade setup in under 25 seconds!
Absolutely
This is astonishing!
wild.
Dare I say, Amazeballs.
So with the new official EVO installation world record set to under 25 seconds now, let me ask you, can this be reproduced on other machines and other installations as well?
Yes, it can. The installer will set all the paths and files correctly, as long as you extract the initial EVO installation files correctly in your RBR root folder, so the two maps folders merge. I mean, you can check every path yourself to make sure everything works as intended, and maybe you want to see what Reshade does during its installation, but as we just witnessed, you don't have to.
Excuse me. Whew. Apparently I'm still out of breath, according to the script. There are now... I think there are now several checks and layers implemented to make sure your Reshade installation and preset works and looks like intended by the author. If anything is missing, the Service Park will tell you and provide guidance on how to solve it. So, yeah, let's go through some of the functions of the Service Park launcher. Do you want to take this one?
So let's see. At the top you have the names and path of your buttons. The first three are reserved for the one-click installer, the advanced installer, and your launch button, which became a very important button, as some of the changes and functions can only work if you run RBR through this launch button. But we will get to that later. The other buttons here you can assign freely. Just name them, point to the folder, the executable, the website, whatever you want. This is supposed to be your little customizable hub to access all your most frequented RBR sources and spaces. Further down, right below these button settings, you will find a button to change the background image of the Service Park launcher and a corresponding default button to go back to the default image. And below that are several buttons related to Reshade.
Yeah, the latest directive of our team management was not to ditch Reshade after realizing what a pain it can be, but rather to lean in and fully embrace and incorporate it into the Service Park launcher, to automate the installation, the shader trackings, the updates, just to minimize faulty installations.
Yeah.
And we will have to see where this new approach leads us.
Yeah, no comment.
Mr. Grumpy.
Anyhow,
Yeah, but I'm not sure either.
First, you'll find a Reshade preset switcher. Once you installed the Reshade component through the one-click installer and have Reshade set up, you can then go and change presets by simply picking them through this button. Everything else will be then set correctly automatically. At least as long as you stay within the EVO ecosystem. Picking presets from other sources will likely result in missing shaders initially, but the Service Park also provides you with feedback and guidance regarding that. You will see a green or red message here regarding your currently active Reshade preset. If you are missing any shaders, just rerun the Reshade installation through the one-click installer. And here you also have a corresponding default button to switch back to whatever the current EVO default preset will be at that time.
Another Reshade tool you have at your disposal now is this Reshade Update button. You will probably never have to update your Reshade installation, even though in-game it will at some point definitely inform you about an update. But if you feel you have to update Reshade to a newer version, you can. Click this button. This will perform two things. First, you select a file you previously downloaded from the Reshade website. This will then automatically run the Reshade installation, or update in this case. But this will also then sync this selected Reshade setup file with your Service Park launcher. So all future actions of the Service Park that require a Reshade installation or update, for example, reinstalling the Reshade component or downloading new shaders or fixing a corrupted Reshade installation, will then use this newly selected version of Reshade. It sounds quite complicated, and because I'm doing a bad job explaining it, but it basically just means you can update your Reshade version and have everything else then automated by the Service Park launcher.
Yes, and then we have this fun switch here. You might find yourself in a position where you want or maybe even have to deactivate Reshade temporarily. You can now just flick this switch to turn Reshade on and off without compromising your existing Reshade installation and preset settings down the line. This is, by the way, one of the actions that requires you to run RBR through the launch button of the Service Park for it to work. And next to that, you have another feedback message regarding the state of your Reshade installation. This will also display whether you have a Vulkan or DirectX 9 installation going, and whether Reshade is installed correctly, switched on or off, etc.
Yes, thank you. So now here is a fun section. These are the randomizers. Once you installed the audio or cloud component through the one-click installer, these randomizers will then be set up. These randomize through several hundreds of new files provided by EVO. You can set their state to on startup, which will also be their initial state after their installation. You can click this button here to randomize them manually with every click of this button. And you also have an in-loop button, which will randomize your clouds every 10 minutes, resulting in new clouds pretty much on every stage you go out on. With these checkboxes, you can even choose which specific parts you want to have randomized. For example, for the audio files, you might only want the crowd and ambient sounds, and maybe the crash sounds to be randomized, but the road surface sounds to stay the same.
Crash sounds and surface sounds are not even yet part of the mod.
Yeah, but they might be, depending on when this tutorial is watched. I hope to never have to record one of these ever again, so I cover all the bases.
Yeah, maybe we should stop adding new stuff. This tends to break things anyway. Alright, and then there is this chunker of a section. In this section here, you can assign buttons on your wheel to perform certain Reshade post-processing effects. The EVO Reshade presets come with optional effects like depth of field, bloom and road reflections, and POV headlights for night driving. To not have to awkwardly press a shortcut on your keyboard, you can now have these effects assigned to your wheel. Just click the corresponding assign button next to the effect, which then triggers a listening event. then press or rotate your wheel button of choice. This wheel button will then act as an on-off switch for that effect in-game. However, for this to work, you will also have to run RBR through the launch button of your service park. And you can also now assign indicator icons to go along with these effects. With these checkboxes, you can choose in which corner of your screen you want the indicators to be displayed. They will then be linked to the effect and indicate if the respective effect is active or not. This is probably most likely relevant with the POV headlights, as they are now separated into standard headlights for hazy, dark and twilight conditions, and specific high beams for the night weather settings. And you can also combine them to achieve different results, depending on your preferences and weather conditions. So these headlight and high beam indicators will then help you to determine which effect is currently active.
And one last thing here that might be useful. You can now also assign a wheel button to open the Reshade window in-game, which is especially useful if you happen to miss a numpad 0 key on your keyboard. And one final thing to mention. The respective keyboard shortcuts will still work even after assigning wheel buttons on top of that. Both will perform the same action.
Okay, I think that's all there is to the settings window. Do you have another thing to add?
Well, and there are, however, additional things you can do in-game regarding Reshade.
Maybe...
but this will be a separate video tutorial.
Yeah, let's make it a separate video. Maybe correctly linked somewhere here or there.
Or maybe here, or maybe over there, or everywhere.
Yeah, someone will have to do that.
I can tell you it will not be me. Don't we have people for that?
Yeah, maybe with another 100 Patreon subscriptions, they could hire someone to help out a little.